When we look deeply at life, we see that everything has its own shape and form. A tree can grow tall, but only to a certain height. A river can flow wide and strong, but it still follows the land around it. In the same way, our human life also has limits. These are not mistakes or weaknesses. They are part of the natural order that gives life meaning. Many people struggle because they think they must always do more, achieve more, and never rest. Society often tells us that success means breaking every barrier and never stopping. But this endless pressure can make the heart tired and the mind heavy. True wisdom begins when we can see that limits are not enemies. They are guides that help us walk the right path. Think about your own body. It can be strong, but it also becomes tired. If we ignore this, illness can come. Or think about our emotions. We can give love and care, but we also need time to recover when we feel pain. If we pretend that we have no limits, we risk losing balance and joy. When we honor our limits, we begin to live more honestly. We know when to speak and when to stay silent, when to act and when to wait. Limits are like the lines in a painting. Without them, the picture has no form. With them, beauty appears. To understand limits is to understand the truth of our life. When we accept that our life has boundaries, something soft and calm can grow inside us. Many people spend so much energy fighting against what cannot be changed. They push themselves beyond what is possible, hoping that one day they will feel complete. But often, this only brings more suffering. To accept does not mean to give up. It means to see clearly what is real and to live in harmony with it. Imagine the ocean waves. They rise and fall again and again. If a wave wanted to be endless, it would break apart. But when the wave accepts that it must rise and then return to the sea, it becomes part of the great rhythm. In the same way, when we accept our boundaries, we also return to a greater peace. Acceptance brings relief to the heart. It teaches us that we do not need to compete with everyone or prove our worth in every moment. We can breathe more freely. We can rest in the simple truth that our value is not measured by how much we overcome, but by how deeply we live within the life we are given. There is also kindness in acceptance. When we understand our own limits, we become less harsh toward the limits of others. We stop expecting perfection from ourselves and from those around us. This makes relationships gentler and more real. Instead of pushing each other too far, we can stand side by side with understanding. To accept boundaries is not weakness. It is a strength that frees the spirit. In this quiet strength, we find peace that cannot be taken away by success or failure. Limits are not only walls that stop us, they are also doors that guide us. Many times in life, when we meet a boundary, we feel frustration or disappointment. We think, why can't I do this? Why can't I go further? Yet if we look deeper, we see that limits often protect us from harm and lead us toward a wiser path. Think about the way the human body needs sleep. If we could ignore this limit, perhaps we would try to work endlessly. But without sleep, our body and mind break down. The need to rest protects us. It reminds us that life must have balance. Or think about age. As we grow older, certain doors close, but new ones open. The limits of age push us to slow down, to notice the quiet beauty around us, and to spend time on what truly matters. Even in nature, limits bring order. Mountains stop the wind. Rivers shape the land. The seasons mark the time. Without these natural boundaries, the world would lose its harmony. Our life is the same. The limits we face are not punishments, but part of the rhythm that holds everything together. When we learn to see limits as guidance, we stop fighting against them with anger. we begin to ask, what is this limit teaching me? Sometimes it teaches patience, sometimes humility, sometimes the need to change direction. These lessons are more valuable than endless success. So, instead of seeing limits as a prison, we can see them as a wise teacher. They show us where we should walk and where we should not. They protect us from going too far into danger, and they remind us that our path has meaning within its shape. When we think about growth, many people imagine pushing past every barrier. But true growth is not about breaking every limit. It is about living fully within what is possible. Just as a flower blooms in its own season and within its own space, our life also blooms when we grow where we are planted. If we spend all our time wishing to be someone else or to live a different life, we miss the chance to develop the gifts that already live inside us. Every person has talents, experiences, and strengths that belong uniquely to them. These grow best when we accept the frame of our life rather than fight against it. The tree does not envy the bird, and the bird does not envy the stone. Each has its own way of being complete. Limits can also make our growth more focused. When space is small, roots grow deeper. When choices are few, the heart learns to value what is given. In this way, our boundaries help us become strong and steady. Without them, we may grow wide, but not deep, always chasing what is far away, but never knowing the richness of what is near. Growth within limits also teaches joy. We learn to celebrate small victories and to find meaning in ordinary days. Instead of waiting for a perfect moment when everything is possible, we discover the beauty of the present. Life does not need to be endless to be full. So to grow within what is possible is not to settle for less. It is to rise to the highest form of the life we have. In this way, our limits do not shrink us. They shape us into something true and whole. When we reflect on the journey of limits, we begin to see that they are not chains, but gentle hands that shape our life. They remind us that we do not need to be everything or to do everything in order to live fully. To know our limits is to know ourselves more deeply. It is to walk with honesty and dignity instead of chasing endless illusions. There is great peace in this wisdom. When we know our limits, we can give ourselves to the moments that truly matter. We can listen more closely, love more sincerely, and spend our time in ways that bring real meaning. Limits teach us that life is not measured by how much we stretch beyond, but by how gracefully we live within the circle of our being. Each person's circle is different, but each is complete. By respecting our limits, we do not lose freedom. Instead, we find a greater freedom, the freedom to be who we truly are. This kind of freedom cannot be shaken by comparison or competition. It grows quietly, like a lamp that shines steady in the dark. As we close these reflections, I want to express my heartfelt thanks. Your kind support through likes, subscriptions, comments, super thanks, and membership is deeply appreciated. Each gesture is not small to me. It shows that these words reach you and that we share this path together. I am grateful for the time you have given to listen and for the community we are building through these teachings. May the wisdom of knowing your limits bring peace and strength to your days. And may you continue to walk your path with calmness and truth.